Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Another FPV racing mini drone. This is the KINGKONG Fly Egg 130 size. This has already got an FrSky transmitter, or receiver rather, in there. So all I should need to do is bind it to my Taranis QX7 and fly. Of course, it's always good to go into Betaflight in your computer, connect it, and make sure all your settings are good to go. But this is going to be fun. I've been wanting to review this for a while. It's a little mini racer, carbon fiber. Let's go ahead and unbox it, inspect it, set it up, and go and fly it out there. Let's get started. Okay, cool. So it's got a little cool, KINGKONG is really getting good at giving us some quality little box Tupperwares to hold everything. I really like that. I think other manufacturers should follow suit, maybe put a little spin on it with different colors, find a color that suits them and stick with it. But this is cool because you can keep all your stuff nice and secure in here. It's a great little box. It's got these little latches here. So flipping open the top, and first thing we notice is a bunch of propellers. So two full sets, one white and one yellow. We'll check out what size those are in a second. There's no set on the drone itself, so we're getting one set and one extra set, and there's also screws in there, as you can see. We get some prop guards. Wow, so they're actually giving us prop guards with this guy. That's great. 2.8-inch black propeller guards with hardware in there, so if you're a beginner flyer, it's great that they include these for you just in case. If you're not a beginner flyer, of course you're not going to need those, but it's always nice to have that option. Here's another bag, and this gives you 2 rubber bands and a tool to take off their propellers, and also a little legend on FPV frequencies for the drone itself, since it's all built-in FPV. Here's our battery, 350 milliamp hour, 35C, pretty good. That's a higher C than most they give in the package. And this is a 2S with a JST connector. There's a little balance connector there. And here's a little micro USB cable to configure it in Betaflight to your computer. Here's another mini bag with some motor guards. If you wanted to put these on, you're gonna have to take out the screws and put these other screws in here. Looks like they're gonna be a little bit longer to protect your motors a little more, because what they give you is a naked drone. And this thing's awesome because look at that, it's using a balance plug. So you can use all kinds of batteries. And here it is. So check this out. It has an aluminum mid chassis to really protect itself with these side bracing. They're all aluminum. Let me take this off here real quick. Don't really need that sticker on there anymore. It's saying here on this little warning sticker, because the motor KV is so high, they suggest only using 2S. So maybe we'll stick with 2S. It seems like they're trying to warn us, be careful for 3S because there may be some problems. But I'm sure this will still scream in 2S because it does have 3-bladed props with some pretty good bite. And anyway, there's the motors there. Don't forget, I will have the links in the description so you can check out the specs more in depth and the pricing. There's the stack of the power board and everything. There's the camera. Let's see how the camera looks. Yep, so typical wide angle FPV camera, and the flight controller and ESCs and everything just built into the center. 2mm true carbon fiber chassis, just single plate all the way down with some padding here. And there is a built-in beeper, look at that, so awesome. So we're gonna be able to find this if it gets lost in the grass or the woods. We even have some LED lights on the back here, 2 LED lights. There's our monopole FPV antenna, just attached like KINGKONG normally does to a little tie strap. So it's looking really good. I'm really liking the design of this thing. It does come with this manual, and it goes through diagrams, schematics of the whole quad, and also extra parts if you wanted to order them separately. And also a quick little Betaflight tutorial on how to connect it in Betaflight to your computer. So I'm gonna charge this battery up, give it a good charge, put some propellers on it, take it out to the park. We'll do a line of sight flight and see how it performs. Just line of sight, looking at it while it's flying. And I'll pop on the goggles and we'll get a full in-depth FPV flight with it with some commentary. Cool guys, let's go fly this little bad boy. Alright guys, we're at the park with a little Fly Egg 130 KINGKONG, and as you can see the sun's going down. It's really sunset, so not the most ideal time to fly, but I'm going to at least squeeze in a line of sight with the stock battery it comes with. And once we exhaust that battery, we'll go ahead and throw on these Amway goggles, FPV goggles, and do a little FPV session. As you can tell, there's a beeper on there, and so that at least we'll be able to find this one if we lose it. So you have the beeper configured to that switch. So really easy. I just did the minimal Betaflight configuring, just made sure all the switches were on the right modes, and that's it. I didn't do any PID settings or anything, so we're just going to see how it flies stock out of the box pretty much. This switch here, I have attitude, horizon, and acro mode, and then this is my arm switch. You can see how on this one the propellers do spin up when it's armed, just very slowly for more stable flight. I take that back, I did mess with the lights. So the lights were kind of weird, so I went ahead and just configured the light rail in Betaflight. It seemed like the right turn was blinking on the wrong side, so I changed that, and I changed the colors to be green when unarmed and red when armed. Cool, let's try it out. Wow, nice and quiet. I love how quiet these little ones are like this with these propellers. Feeling really good. Cool, so let's full pitch forward. Ah, nice. Wow, really responsive. Let's do a punch test. So from just a hover here, close up, full throttle punching now. Oh, okay, so I did hear the low voltage dropped a little bit. The battery sagged a little bit on that punch, but at least you do have that beeper. That's great. If you lose it or if you're low voltage, it will tell you audibly. Cool, so let's do a full pitch forward and kind of a throttle and see how fast it goes forward. Coming back. Wow, very good. It's going to be really responsive in acro, I can tell. So as you can see, I can't do any flips in attitude mode, so I'm going to flip this switch down to the middle, and this is horizon mode. This thing, that's not the craft that's going up and down like that, that's my thumb. It's got so much lift that it wants to go up quickly, and it's my thumb dropping because I'm not used to it. Actually, let's do a yaw real quick, see how fast the yaw rate is. Wow, very good. See that? That's a pretty fast yaw, and you know, you can be slow or fast, and very stable too. This is, I didn't do any leveling or anything. This is out of the box, guys. Just changed the lights, made sure all the modes were correct. Cool, so let's try a little flip. Ah, perfect rate for me. Intermediate flyer, see that? So you can do them really close to the ground. No problem whatsoever. See if you can see that on the controller. Okay, so just a little punch and then full stick. So it's already dropping quite a bit, the battery. You want to bring it in when the battery starts to beep all the time, when you're just kind of hovering and flying normal. That's when you need to land. Double front flip. So it's almost time to bring this thing in. So it's probably only going to last for a couple minutes. Let's flip into acro mode before we land and do our FPV session. So I'm in acro now. Nice. Oh, you know, you can do more of throttle on, little arc rolls. Sweet. Yeah, it's doing good. Back into horizon mode. Let's see if we can do slow ones in horizon. Oh, once you are holding it upside down for a while, it just wants to level itself. Really quick, let me show you that. I'm going to turn it upside down, let go in horizon, show you how it self-levels. Letting go. See? That's the cool thing about horizon if you're a beginner. So I'm going to land it now. With the ones that really spin when you have the motors armed, you don't want to drop them in your hand, but I'm just going to try it real quick. Land in my hand real fast. Disarming. There we go. So like if you're on a precarious area where like you're on the rocks or something racing and there's really no good place to land, like lava rock around here in Hawaii, you can do that, but just be very careful. Make sure you switch off and grab it. Cool, guys, let me throw on the FPV goggles and see how this thing does FPV. Cool. Cool, so brand new, same stock battery, fully charged. I did adjust the camera for the pitch setting to be up. I think it came with a pitch setting at like 15%. Then you can go 35. I think the maximum is 35 or 45, but anyway, I just adjusted it one notch up to be right around 35 degrees. Boom, so I'll have those up on the screen. Really nice and clear picture. And get these on, let's start flying it. Okay, so this is the evening time, guys, so you know with these cameras you are going to get a little bit of darkness, so I'd recommend definitely flying in the sunlight as much as possible, but it's nice and cool in the evening, that's for sure. Switching down into acro mode right away. As you can see, we can see the propellers on the screen. Already hearing a low voltage beep. Wow, it does feel very good. Let's go under here. So once in a while we'll get that low voltage beep. But it feels really light and peppy. That's for sure. Don't want to hit anybody. Yeah, it sure does feel peppy. It's just, I bet you it's gonna rip on 3S. Whoa. I was like fully off the throttle there. Let's just zip around the tree real quick here. Punching up, whoa. Definitely feels good. Okay. So we're getting beeping when it punches only. Not the best FPV flyer, but good enough to have fun. So when I turn really hard and let off the throttle, I'm getting a little bit of shake. You know, that's not that bad. See that little wobble? Wow, this thing can rip around. Look at this. You could race with this thing. Getting better every day. Oh! Okay. That was like grass and then hit, sounded like it hit the steel pole. Let's check on it. Okay, so just grabbed it from right over there. It just hit the ground and then nailed the pole. And gosh, is there even a bent propeller? Let me just unplug this real quick. So the beeper on this is definitely valuable to know when to come in, because it doesn't have any OSD. It looks like I bent this propeller down a little bit in that crash, so back rear. But these look pretty resilient, where you can just bend them up a little bit, or back a little bit. This one went up a little, so we'll bend that just a little bit down. Yeah, and this is definitely reflyable with just that minimal bending. Both fronts look fine. This aluminum is definitely great. No broken arms, of course. This is pretty thick. I think it's 2.5 millimeter carbon fiber, so super durable. Let me pop in this 3S I have hanging around here and let's see how it is with a little more power and weight. Okay, so I was putting on this little 3S and actually the connector it has is only a 2S connector, so if you wanted to put a 3S on this one, guys, you're gonna have to do a 3S down to a 2S little cable or change the power cable. So unfortunately I'm not going to be able to run this in 3S, but I have no doubt it'll probably work with 3S. I just flew this little 95 GT King Kong and it worked great on 3S, the same exact battery, so I have no doubt this one would work. So it's got plenty of lift. It seems like the propellers are going to be pretty durable and resilient from braking, and you can bend these back pretty easily and just continue flying with no issues. The FPV was really good. I think it's using the same exact, you know, FPV 25 milliwatt video transmitter as all the other King Kongs in this little bracket here between the 90s and like the 130s. One thing I would mention is maybe you see the wire management for the motors here. Maybe get like a little clip. If you have a 3D printer, you could 3D print a little clip here. There's probably some files online. And protect these, because this is possible an ESC short and wire cut here. If this bends down, it's going to cut this wire pretty easily, and these are kind of pulling up kind of loose on the arms here. So I have no doubt that these arms are going to handle quite a bit of, you know, pounding before they break. And I really do like this foam on the bottom. It really makes the batteries stick really solid. I think all these little kinds of quads should start coming with this little padded foam insert, because a lot of them come with nothing and you're just sliding around the battery on carbon fiber. So I really like that. The beeper is awesome. The only thing that this is missing, which is probably the only con for this, is there's no OSD on board, or at least I couldn't find any kind of OSD. So if they could put a nice OSD on here, that would be perfect. It already has a light bar that you can configure. Betaflight flies really good, really quiet and powerful and peppy. I will have the flight time pop up. I do think you're only probably going to be able to fly for like 1:30 to 2 minutes. Right around 2 minutes on these ones. I think that's the going average on this size and this power of these little mini quads. They're all pretty much right around 2 minutes. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that review, and don't forget, I will have the link to this guy, the KINGKONG 130 Fly Egg, in the description. I had a lot of fun with it. I hope you liked that review and it was informative for you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.